verse. So very some of the commentaries by about this verse, different. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has commented, and different. Don't talk about that. So we will recite those also. We'll discuss. So very important. Every day we recite Sharir Mahaprasade Govinde Nama Brahmani Vaishnavi. We should have full faith on all these things. Mahaprasad, holy name, and Brahmanas. Other is Swalpa Punya means little faith, then we cannot have faith and then there is no use. Namshade Govinde Nama Brahmani Vaishnave Swalpa Punya. If he has little punya, then he will not have faith on all these things. Swalpa Punya Patam Rajan Viswasane Vajayate. You cannot have faith on all these things. How it will work. Then after that, Sharira Avidyajal. So this we discussed. Among that, Tara Madhya Jivati. To conquer Jiva, one has to uh, honor only Prasadam, which is offered to the Lord. And here also, there are 6 kinds of tastes. If one is agitated by any one of them, he becomes controlled by the urges of the tongue. Some persons are attracted to the eating of meat, fish, crabs, and also semen and blood, and eaten in the form of dead bodies. People are ready to even eat the products which are made of semen, blood, and dead bodies. The jiva can eat anything in this world. So that's why to conquer jiva is not so easy thing. It is the most difficult thing in all the senses. Is the one tongue has 2 functions, especially speaking, and also here jiva vegam, vacho vegam. These 2 are very prominent things under which is a mouth. The mouth can destroy world can be destroyed by this mouth. It can destroy families, communities, countries, world, anything it can be destroyed because of this mouth is not controlled. If you speak little bad words, okay, world wars can happen. So this Tara Madhya Jivati Lobhomayasura. If you want to control this, there is only one solution, that is Krishna Prasadam has to be honored. So there are 6 kinds of rasa states. If one is agitated by one of them, it can be controlled by the urges of the tongue. Even one uncontrolled senses, then it can come under the urges of tongue. Immediately, tongue will get agitated. Some persons are attracted to eating fish. So Lord, others are attracted eating vegetables, creepers, spinach, and milk products, but all for the satisfaction of tongue's demands. Even vegetarian, even monkeys are vegetarian. Even goats are vegetarian. Vegetarianism is not our goal of life. Anything, even vegetarian, which is not offered to Krishna, is equivalent to non-veg. Such eating for sense gratification includes use of extra quantities of spices like chili, tamarind, is to be given up by Krishna conscious persons. Too much hot chili or too much sour tamarind. The use of pan, hataka, betel nuts, various spices in pan making, tobacco, LSD, marijuana, opium, liquor, coffee, and tea is indulged in to fulfill illicit demands. So, if we can practice accepting only remnants of food offered to Krishna, is possible to get free from Maya's victimization. Mahaprasad. Honoring only Mahaprasad is very, very, very important. Like Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, our Prabhupada's spiritual master, has ordered very seriously. His father Bhaktivedanta Thakur has brought some mangoes which are very good looking. And when Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur one mango he took and ate, and Bhaktivedanta Thakur said, "You are an offender. You did offense to Lord. Without offering, I brought these fruits for offering to the Lord, but you have taken it." So Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur took it seriously, and he said, "No, in my lifetime I will never eat mangoes." He didn't eat. Such a wow, such a serious thing it is to follow. So this is a very first and foremost thing. Prasadam, in association of devotees, what we get is prasadam. We get to chant holy name, association with devotees, reading scriptures. So that's why the association is very important. In the association, if you don't get prasadam, what is the use? However, if one accepts prasadam only because it's palatable taste and thus eats too much, अरे प्रसादी तो है पूरा खा लेंगे पेट भर. He also falls prey to the trying to satisfy the demands of the tongue. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu taught us to avoid very palatable dishes even while eating prasadam. Prasadam में भी palatable dishes नहीं बनाना चाहिए. If we offer palatable dishes to the deity with the intention of eating such nice food, we are involved in trying to satisfy the demands of the tongue. That is Jivva Vegam. One should not offer palatable dishes to enjoy as a prasadam. We should offer what Krishna likes. What I like is not important. So some devotees like, already half-cooked items also we should not offer to the Lord. Like pizza, pasta and all, which is already cooked or which is already made. So if we offer palatable dishes, with the intention of eating such nice food, we are under satisfying the demands of tongue. If we accept invitation of a rich man with the idea of receiving palatable food, we are also trying to satisfy the demands of the tongue. है ना, अच्छा अच्छा अमीर घर घर पे क्यों जाएंगे लोग, अच्छा अच्छा पनीर सब्जी बटर हलवा है ना डाल के खिलाएंगे, खाने के लिए जाएंगे. तो इसी के लिए महाप्रभु बोला है, जीवेर लालच है इति उति धाय शिष्णोदर अपराय न कृष्ण नहीं पाए. If we cannot, if we want to eat palatable dishes in a rich man's house, then we will not achieve Krishna. If you want to satisfy tongue materially, then we will miss Krishna. So Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has ordered very seriously. The person who runs here and there seeking to gratify his palate and who is always attached to the desires of his stomach and genitals is unable to attain Krishna. Krishna nahi paaye. We will miss Krishna. What is the use of that? As stated before, tongue, belly and genitals are all situated in straight line and thus they fall into the same category. Tongue, belly and genitals, they are all in straight, like pipeline. यहाँ से pipeline डालेगा नीचे जाएगा, यहाँ नहीं डालेगा तो नीचे कैसे जाएगा. So Lord Chaitanya, if you want to control genitals, you need to control mouth. Unnecessary of releasing semen, uncontrolled genitals, or uncontrolled eating all variety of food, constipation, loose motion, indigestion, gas problems. So many is due to irregular heating habits and all. Health will be spoiled. You lose health, and people will not work physical services. So, as stated before, tongue, belly, and genitals are okay. Those who suffer from diseases of the stomach must be under the control of urges of belly. Stomach problems due to eating more or irregularly eating. At least according to this analysis, When we desire to eat more than necessary, we automatically create many inconveniences in life. However, if we observe fasting days like Ekadasi and Janmashtami, we can restrain the demands of belly. No, one should not eat. अरे प्रसाद है बोल के एकादशी तो है ना, एकादशी डोसा है उत्तप्पा है डालते रहो. हाँ, तो एकादशी के दिन भी फीस्टिंग करते हैं लोग. हमारा इस्कॉन में ऐसा है कि एकादशी को भी पूरा 56 भोग बना सकता है. So one should not, if possible, nirjal is best. If cannot, water, jal. If cannot, फल, at least फल का तो करना चाहिए. If not, at least Gaur Govind Swami Maharaj has introduced at least only no boiled sabji, which is not more than that. For foreigners, we make something like for their tongue, it is very difficult for them. For Indians, it is very easy. Those who, as far as urges of genitals are concerned, there are two, proper and improper, or illegal and illicit sex. Genitals control is very important. When a man is properly mature, he can marry according to the rules and regulations of Shastras and use his genitals for begetting nice children. Genitals' perfect use is to beget Krishna conscious children. That is legal and religious. Otherwise, he may adopt many artificial means to satisfy the demands of genitals. And he may not use any restraint. There should be restriction for sense gratification. If there is no restriction for sense gratification, he is considered like an animal. आजकल लोग free sex, free living and everything. So that is a dog's life. What dogs are doing in the street. If people are also will do that, then what is the difference? Consciousness is same. Only they are living in the flats and doing same what dogs are doing. So when one indulges in illicit sex as defined by Shastras, either by thinking, even we should not even think of illicit sex, even planning or talking about or actually having sexual intercourse, or by satisfying the genitals by artificial means, any artificial means, is caught in the clutches of Maya. Maya has captured him successfully. Maya has become successful. These instructions apply not only householders but also to Tyagis or those who are in renounced order of life. In his book, Prema Vivarta, chapter 7, Jagadananda Pandit says, very important verse about this. वैरागी भाई ग्राम्य कथा ना सुनी बे काने, ग्राम्य वार्ता ना कही बे या बे मिली बे आने, स्वपने ओ ना कर भाई स्त्री संभाषण, गृह स्त्री चाडिया भाई असिया चवन, यदि चाह प्रणय राखिते गौरांगे रसने, छोटा हरिदासेरा कथा ताके ये न मने, बाला ना काई बे आर बाला ना पारी बे, हृदय तेरा दा कृष्ण सर्वदा से विबे. My dear brother, you are in the renounced order of life and you should not listen to the talk about ordinary worldly things, nor should you talk about worldly things. When you meet with others, do not think of women. Even in the dreams, you have accepted the renounced order of life with a vow that forbids you to associate with women. Socho, saffron के लिए, especially for myself, saffron means no woman association, no sense gratification. No one is meant for my sense gratification. Everybody is meant for Krishna's satisfaction. If you wish to associate with Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, you must always remember the incident of Chota Haridas and how he was rejected by the Lord. Do not eat luxurious dishes or dress in fine garments, but always remain humble and serve their lordships, Sri Sri Radha Krishna, in your hearts of hearts. और महाप्रभु की संग मिल रहा है, इतना बढ़िया कृपा क्या है। बट महाप्रभु के साथ रहने के लिए शुद्धता मेंटेन करना पड़ेगा, है ना। शुद्धता नहीं है तो फिर वो आनंद, ये आनंद क्या है? ये तो भौतिक आनंद कुत्ता सुअर बिल्ली को भी मिलता है ना। बट no one we has to control this sense gratification, especially genitals. छोटा हरिदास को सोचो, इवन नॉट इवन वन शुड इवन थिंक। छोटा हरिदास को छोटा हरिदास he went for begging for Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and where he saw lustily, just he saw or thought, not even see, he thought little bit about sexual desire. Immediately, Mahaprabhu, after he brought and cooked and everything, he said, who cooked this? Mahaprabhu can detect the consciousness of the person who is cooking. He wants only that consciousness, not the actual item. The item is not, Lord is not happy by chappan bhog. Duryodhan made chappan bhog. But he said, Lord said, neither I am having hungry, nor you have devotion to offer. So he didn't eat there. He came to Vidurji's house, where such a nice devotee. Vidurani was there. She forgot. So Krishna came. And how fortunate we are. In my home, Krishna appeared. I was hearing like he entered Vidura's house like as if he is entering into his house. And Vidurani fed skin of banana. And he was happily eating that skin of banana than Duryodhana's chappan bhog. Lord is not happy by buildings and the variety of food items what we are offering. If a devotee cooks, even without masala, anything sattvic, it pleases the Lord. The taste, natural taste will come from that. No? So when we should, by seeing that only, even just by seeing Mahaprabhu, who cooked this? Who brought this? So immediately he said to call him. And he asked, never show your face to me in this lifetime. So we should be serious if you want Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's association. So Mahaprabhu will not like to see our face if we are lusty or anything. We should not even think of sense gratification. Mahaprabhu will not like to see our face. Before we did, coming to Krishna consciousness can be forgiven. But after coming to Krishna consciousness, if we are still getting those such kind of thoughts, and if we don't take counseling and anything guidance, then is gone case. No, one should always, must always remember the incident of Chota Haridas and how he rejected by the Lord. Do not eat luxurious dishes. Eating luxury is not a goal of life. है ना, 25 लाख 50 लाख का पैकेज ले लेंगे और हमेशा, है ना, काजू का ग्रेवी से पनीर सब्जी बना के खाएंगे। दिस इज नॉट द गोल ऑफ लाइफ, है ना। सो डू नॉट ईट लग्जरियस डिशेस और ड्रेस इन फाइन गारमेंट्स। और दीक्षित होने पर भी लोग, है ना, बेटा बेटी को एकदम, बेटी को निक्कर पहनाएंगे, हाँ। हाफ नेकेड बना के भेजेंगे स्कूल में या किसी पार्टी में। सो व्हाट इज द यूज ऑफ दीक्षा देन? हाँ। सो जनरली one should not dress very fine garments. I saw in Chowpatty our what our Mafatlal Prabhu. What is his name? So he is very simple devotee. Yeah, even I saw Srinathji Prabhu. He dress very simple. They dress. They are very crorepati, millionaires, but they dress very simple. No, Maharaj was telling Radhanath Maharaj, he wanted to have just 2 BHK. But Maharaj said, no, no, you have to show your, for preaching purpose or some, you should have your own bungalow. So they are very humble, even after having such appliances. So that one should not aspire for so much about that. So, but always remain humble and serve their Lordship Radha Krishna in your heart of hearts. So this is Jagadananda Pandit consciousness. This is the instruction of Jagadananda Pandit. Jagadananda Pandit, he always gives sense gratification to Mahaprabhu. महाप्रभु नीचे सोते थे, कैसे सोते आप? बेड ला के रखे? नहीं, मैं सन्यासी हूं, बेड के ऊपर कैसे सोऊं? He devotee is one who gives sense gratification to the Lord and spiritual master, not for oneself. एटलीस्ट केला का पत्ता से बेड बना के इसमें तो सो जाओ, नीचे मत सो. चैतन्य इज लाइक सत्यभामा कंट्रोल्स एंड ही इज वार्निंग, वैरागी भाई ग्राम्य कथा ना सुनिवे काने, ग्राम्य कथा नहीं सुनना चाहिए, है ना. इधर उधर का बात, पॉलिटिशियन, पॉलिटिकल न्यूज, नॉर्थ ईस्ट वेस्ट साउथ का पूरा गंदगी, पूरा ट्रोस ना, गंदा गंदा पूरा निकाल के न्यूज में डालते रहते हैं, है ना. सो वन शुड नॉट बी ईगर टू हियर न्यूज. पूरा दुनिया क्या चल रहा है मेरे को पता होना ही सोचता है लोग. दुनिया मेरा मुट्ठी में है बोल. मेरा मन और इंद्रिय अपना मुट्ठी में नहीं है, दुनिया को मुट्ठी में रखना चाहता है. सो स्वप्ने वो ना करे भाई, श्री कृष्ण श्री स्त्री संभाषणा. स्वप्न में भी स्त्री संभाषणा नहीं करना है, ड्रीम में भी स्त्री के साथ बात नहीं करना है. गृह स्त्री छाड़िया भाई, आसियाचे बना. इतना छोड़ छाड़ करके आए हो, फिर उसे उसी के इंद्रिय तृप्ति में फंस जाओगे. यदि चाहे प्राणया राखी ते गौरांगे रसने, छुट्टा हरिदास कथा ताके ये न मने. कितना बढ़िया होता है जगदानंद पंडित इंस्ट्रक्शन. दिस आर द आचार्यस instructions. One should always remember, doing sense gratification is not mercy of Krishna. To restrain mind and senses. What is the conclusion? Conclusion is that one who can control these 6 items, speech, mind, anger, tongue, belly and genitals, is to be called as a Swami or Goswami. We should worship them. We should, those who have control on this, not the kings who conquered the whole world, but who failed to conquer his own mind and senses. Alexander the Great, he conquered whole world, but when he came to India, he understood. He wasted his life, human form of life. And he showed the 3 symptoms, like big doctors should carry my body, and all the gold coins what I have earned should be thrown on my body, dead body carrying, and while burying, keep my hands like this. See what I am carrying. I didn't carry any penny, single penny. This is not the success of life. भारत में आए तो बड़े बड़े राजा भी सीखता है इधर. हम इधर बैठ के अमेरिका में जाना चाहते हैं. कितना दुर्भाग्य. We should not be attracted by the foreigners' pockets. One should be attracted by Krishna consciousness potency in other jivas. So, when one accepts the renouncement, This does not mean that he is the master of his family. गोस्वामी मतलब ये नहीं कि वृंदावन में कोई परिवार गोस्वामी लोग बोलते हैं. He not because he is the master of his family or community or society. He must be the master of his senses. अपना इंद्रियों को कंट्रोल. चाय नहीं का पीना बंद कर देता नहीं और वह मैं गोस्वामी बोलता है ना. चाय पीना बंद नहीं कर पा रहे, वो गोस्वामी हो जाता है. और साउथ इंडिया में तो 1 महीना के लिए अयप्पा माला है, 2-3 महीना के लिए अयप्पा माला है ना. एकदम कंट्रोल ऑफ सेंसेस. जैसा वो अयप्पा के नीचे आता है पूरा दारू सब चारों नियम तोड़ देते हैं. ऑल दिस विल नॉट वर्क इन कृष्ण कॉन्शसनेस. Unless one is master of his senses, he should not be called Goswami, but Godas, the servant of the senses. है ना. ऐसा गोदास को पूजा करेंगे, गोदास को हम मास्टर बनाएंगे, क्या फायदा है? कुछ फायदा नहीं. अंधा तांदे उपगीय माना तेपी स्वतंत्र मुर्दा निबद्ध. है ना. So following in the footsteps of 6 Goswamis of Vrindavan, all Swamis and Goswamis should fully engage in transcendental loving service of the Lord. As opposed to this, Godas engages in the service of the senses or service of the material world. है ना. कुछ लोग एम्प्लॉयमेंट देना चाहते हैं. अरे भगवान ही अगर किसी को मदद पैसा नहीं दिया, हम के पैसा देके क्या फायदा है? पैसा कम नहीं दुनिया में, कृष्ण कॉन्शियसनेस कम है. पैसा देंगे, कपड़ा देंगे. एक व्यक्ति एक व्यक्ति आया पॉलिटिशियन, राधेश्याम प्रभु बोलते, पॉलिटिशियन पुणे में आए के बेचारा, ये लोग झोपड़पट्टी वाले चिकन बिरयानी कभी खाया है कि नहीं पता नहीं, आके पैकेट पैकेट दे रहा था. वो सोच रहे हैं वो सेवा कर रहे हैं. जॉब्स दिलाना कि कंप्यूटर सेंटर्स खोलना, ये सेवा नहीं है. दिस इज नॉट द सर्विस ऑफ डिवोटीज. These are all social services. No. Our real service is to give Krishna consciousness to others. They have no other engagement. Prahlad Maharaj has further described Godas as Adanta Go, which refers to one whose senses are not controlled. An Adanta Go cannot become a servant of Krishna. Can anybody uncontrolled senses person can become a servant of Krishna? No. So in preface we remember, first Goswami, then pure devotee. If he is not a Goswami, you cannot call him as pure devotee. First of all sense control, बाद में devotee. डिवोटी के बाद पहला डिवोटी, बाद में कंट्रोल ऑफ सेंसेस नहीं. पहला सेंस कंट्रोल, बाद में डिवोटी. है ना. सेंस कंट्रोल नहीं है मतलब इज गॉन केस. है ना. सो मतिर्न कृष्णे परता स्वथो वा मितो विपद्येत गृहव्रतानां मदान्त गोभिर्विशतां तमिष्टं पुनः पुनश्चर्वित चर्वणानाम्. This is the conclusion of the purport of the Srila Prabhupada, this sloka. This sloka is very, very, very important. Very, very important. Whole world is behind this Grihavrata. है ना. अपना 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 घर अपना सपना. अपना अपना घर बनाना चाहते हैं और उसी में मरना चाहते हैं. उधर ही इंद्रिय अपने लोगों के साथ ही मरना चाहते हैं. कौन अपना है? कोई अपना नहीं है. For those who have decided to continue their existence in the material world for sense gratification of their senses, there is no chance of becoming Krishna consciousness. Not by personal endeavor, or by instructions from others, or by joint conferences. They are dragged by unbridled senses into the darkest region of ignorance. And thus they madly engage in what is called achieving the achieved. What is the use of gaining so much money? For what? Eating, sleeping, mating, and defeating. For this purpose only. So this is not the goal of life. They will never become Krishna conscious by their personal endeavor or by by इंस्ट्रक्शन ऑफ अदर्स. कितना लोग गुरु बोल रहा है, कृष्ण बोल रहा है, शास्त्र बोल रहा है, और वैष्णव लोग बोल रहे हैं, फिर ना डिवोटीज बोल रहे हैं, सब बोल रहे हैं, फिर भी नहीं. होप अगेंस्ट होप दैट सेंस ग्रेटिफिकेशन विल मेक मी हैप्पी. व्हाट इज यूज even after so many hearing lectures bahuna shrutena, so then there is no use. They are dragged by unbridled senses into the darkest region of ignorance, and thus they madly engage in what is called chewing the chewed. Punah charvita charvanana. So this is a, we have to remember, we are also struggling. I am also struggling. You are all, can pray for me and others also, that we should control our senses and engage in Krishna's service. So speaking is easy, no, very difficult. My spiritual master told we can speak very strongly, but following strongly is very important. Maharaj said. So you all can please pray for me that I am speaking to myself, you know. So that's why I took NY to speak for myself. We can remind, teacher will get more benefit. He will remind oneself, Array, what is what? First benefit will get to teacher. At least teacher will not sleep in the class. Well, speaking if he sleep, audience will tell, Prabhu, thoda to bolo. It's nice, na? Opportunity to. So I'm speaking for myself only. Don't misunderstand. So my spiritual master Gopal Krishna Maharaj said, we should not speak heavily, but should practice heavily and mildly instruct others. For sadhaka devotees speak very heavily, follow lightly. Lust, anger, pride, greed उड़ा देंगे एकदम, हिस्सा लेक्चर दे देंगे, है ना. बट फॉलो कितना करता है वो बहुत महत्वपूर्ण है ना. कोई ऑडियंस मिलता है तो बोल देना एकदम बड़ा आसान हो जाता है. But practice is very, very important. We should always pray for each other, helping each other. That's why we should help other devotees also, chanting, reading, and also making very nice vegetarian dishes tastily. Nowadays, they don't make vegetarian food tastily. That's the big problem. सात्विक आइटम्स भी अच्छा से बनाना सीखना है. Then people would like to become sattva. So we'll come to next verse. So what will destroy our bhakti? Sri Rupa Goswami is giving one more instruction, one more, the nectar of instruction. These are all the nectar. Six Goswamis, they have collected all the instructions, and first instruction they have given, we should control our senses. Vacho vegam, manasa krodha vegam, jivva vegam, udaropastha vegam, yetan vegan, yovishahita dhira sarvam apima prichodensha shishya. Now what all things will destroy our bhakti? भक्ति जो हमारे को ऑलरेडी है, क्या करने से हमारे को भक्ति छूट जाएगा, ये बहुत महत्वपूर्ण है. This is the second instruction this Rupa Goswami, our master, is giving. So you all can recite 3 times. We will recite. Atyahara prayasascha prajalpo niyamagraha janasangasya laulyam cha shadvir bhaktir vinashyati atyahara prayasascha prajalpo niyamagraha Janasangascha laulyam cha षड्भिर्भक्तिर्विनश्यति अत्याहारा प्रयासश्च प्रजल्पो नियमाग्रह जनसंगस्य लौल्यं च षड्भिर्भक्तिर्विनश्यति अति ahara. Ati ahara means overeating or too much collecting funds. Prayas, over endeavoring. Cha and prajalpa, idle talk. Niyama, rules and regulations. Agraha, too much attachment to, or agraha, too much neglect. You see, understand this. Agraha and agraha. Agraha means attachment, too much attachment to the rules. केवल सभी को, इवन गुरु को भी यही बोलेंगे, किसी को भी बोलेंगे, attachment to rules, too much attachment, and too neglectful about rules and regulations is called agraha. Janasanga, association with worldly minded persons. Cha and laulyam, ardent longing or greed. Cha and Shadvi, by these six. Bhakti, devotional service. Vinashyati is destroyed. Bhakti vinashyati. Shadbir bhakti vinashyati. All these six things will destroy bhakti. One's devotional service is spoiled when he becomes too entangled in following six activities. Should always remember. Eating first, eating more than necessary, or collecting more funds than required. This is the first instruction. ये अगर करेगा भक्ति नष्ट हो जाएगी. पहला आदेश भक्ति नष्ट होने का है ना. What will make our bhakti destroyed? Eating more than necessary, first and foremost, or collecting more funds than required. One should not collect more funds. One should give to wherever is needed. One should give to, one cannot store the water where in one place more water. We should distribute slowly, like dam stores but distributes in the summer. So one should not acquire more funds. Yatyahara means not just eating only. One should not acquire material things more than required. That will destroy our bhakti. Over endeavoring for mundane things that are very difficult to obtain. Prayasa. Prayasa means, कब मैं भी अपना BMW कार करूंगा. मैं भी, आजकल लोग प्रीचिंग भी ऐसी करता है ना. प्रीचिंग कैसे करता है, जो जो अच्छा रिच है उन्हीं के घर में प्रोग्राम करेंगे, है ना. But when I saw Loknath Swami Maharaj, when I was working, he made one small Jagannath Baldev Subhadra deity installed in one Mataji's house. And they were very poor, but they are very always smiling, very happy, even if they are poor. It touched my heart like anything. 5 people are staying in 2 rooms in Chandan Nagar. And they are giving us prasadam, very nice, tasty, and in time, always smiling. So many problems in their house, but they were very happy. That is real bhakti. Not costly, bada bangla bana denge, BMW lenge, and showing others that this is the real happiness. If you want to be happy, get a good, nice bangla, a nice car, bring the preachers in nice, big cars. Offer them thousands of rupees in donation. That is not the real happiness. Over endeavoring for mundane things. that are very difficult to obtain. मैं भी ऐसी बनूंगा, मैं भी ऐसी बनूंगा. अरे मेरा को, अगर भगवान मेरे को कृपा करके दिया है तो ठीक है. Talking unnecessarily about mundane subject matters. Prajalpa, which is not Krishna consciousness. Which is not Krishna consciousness, we should not talk unnecessarily about that. Practicing scriptural rules and regulations only for the sake of following them, not for the sake of spiritual advancement, or rejecting rules and regulations of the scriptures and working independently or whimsically. Niyamagraha, niyam agraha. Associating with worldly minded persons who are not interested in Krishna consciousness. Being greedy for mundane achievements. Sanskrit and English words we have to always match. Atyahara means overeating or over collecting. Prayasa means over endeavoring for mundane things that are very difficult to obtain. I am going to ask some few devotees can explain what are the Sanskrit meaning and English meaning. Very important. We should remember this. Prayasa means over endeavoring. Very difficult to obtain. Prajalpa means talking unnecessarily about mundane subject matters. Niyam agraha, too much attachment. Niyam agraha, too much neglectful. Janasanga, associating with worldly minded people. Laulyam, ardent longing or greed. These are the 6. Anybody has doubts in this? I am going to ask the meaning Sanskrit word and English meaning. So this will destroy our devotional service. So human life is meant for plain living and high thinking, not to maintain body very luxuriously. Plain living. As less as possible time or anything endeavor should be given for the body. But for soul, for Krishna consciousness, we should give maximum time. Human life is meant for plain living, high thinking. Nowadays, highly living, hardly thinking. No, highly living for clothes and everything. भी नहीं आ रहे. So this hard, highly living. Nowadays they wear एक ड्रेस पूरा हजारों रुपए का रहता है, बट कैरेक्टर देखो उसका कुछ नहीं रहता है ना. हमारा रिज्यूम में भी मैं इतना बड़ा ये हूं वो हूं सब लिखे जो नहीं है वो भी लिख देंगे. So this is not material life and spiritual life are exactly opposite. You should boost about yourself in material life, but in spiritual life, dasanudas. Since all conditioned living beings are under control of Lord's third energy, which is external energy. This material world is designated so that one is obliged to work. ये भौतिक प्रपंच इसलिए डिजाइन किया है कि गधे जैसा काम करने के लिए. The Supreme Personality of Godhead has 3 primary energies or potencies. The first is called Antaranga Shakti or internal potency. The second is called Tatastha Shakti or marginal potency. The third is called Bahiranga Shakti or external potency. The living entities constitute the marginal potency and they are situated between internal and external potencies. Being subordinate as eternal servants of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the Jivatmas or atomic living entities must remain under the control of either internal or external potency. They are dependent, like creeper. Creeper has to take support, either internal energy or external energy. It has to take support, marginal energy. When they are under the control of internal potency, they display their natural constitutional activity, namely constant engagement in devotional service of the Lord. This is stated in Bhagavad Gita 9.13. Those who are under potency, internal potency, they naturally take uh, uh, engagement in 100% engagement in Krishna consciousness. They are called Mahatmas. Mahatma, matlab those who are completely, fully engaged in devotional service to Krishna, not some social act, 100% available, engaged in some social work or anything. महात्मनस्तु मां पार्थ दैवीं प्रकृतिमाश्रिता भजन्ति अनन्य मनसो ज्ञात्वा भूतादिमव्ययम्. So this is the statement of Krishna. Mahatma is the one who is completely engaged in Krishna consciousness, not some country service or some social service. 100% engaged in family service. Whole world is in family service or country service. They are all not Mahatmas. The word Mahatma refers to those who are broad-minded, not cripple-minded. Those who are not Krishna consciousness, they are cripple-minded. Cripple-minded persons always engage in satisfying their senses, sometimes expand their activities in order to do good for others through some ism like nationalism, donation. Donation मतलब क्या? Do for nation. We use for even Krishna consciousness. Donation, but that is not for Krishna consciousness. Donation means for do something for nation. Donation. So that's why some people like they will write undi, English, Sanskrit words. Yeah? And Odia they write Dan Peti, Dan Patra. Okay. So donation box is the donation. They want to engage in country service. You know? So they are cripple-minded, always engaged through isms like nationalism, humanitarianism, or altruism. They may reject personal sense gratification for sense gratification of others, like members of their family. फैमिली के लिए पूरा खूब टाइम देंगे, पूरा उनकी प्रसन्नता के लिए सब कुछ करेंगे. दिस इज नॉट महात्मा. और कम्युनिटी, अपना कम्युनिटी डेवलप करने के लिए पूरा अपना इंद्रिय तृप्ति बंद करके कर रहा है. कितना लोग करते हैं अपना परिवार के लिए, कितना लोग करते हैं. पूरा खाना पानी बेचारा बॉम्बे से पूना 4 घंटा खड़े रह के भी जाते हैं, फिर खड़े रह के आते हैं. क्या फायदा, क्या मिलेगा? But we should, it's not at least family, community, society, and the person who is doing for Krishna consciousness is the highest person. It's not like we should not take care of family, but that is not the ultimate goal. You know? So family, community, or society, either national or international. Actually, all these activities are extended sense gratification. एक्चुअली वो लोग मेरे को इंद्रिय तृप्ति देते हैं, इसलिए मैं उसको रक्षा है. अभी देखो पाकिस्तान को क्यों मदद नहीं करना है? पाकिस्तान मुर्दाबाद. They are also humans. We can preach to anyone. So it should not like only those who give sense gratification to me, they only should be protected. Others can go to hell. No. Actually, all these activities are extended sense gratification. Yesterday we were having a class, Bhaktivedanta. There is no happiness in this material world. What there is one thing people feel happiness is, others' distress is my happiness. If nobody gets prize, if I only get the prize, I will feel so happy. Oh, I am the only person who got the prize. And no one else got that prize. But devotee should not feel like that. Let everybody get prize. And I will be the last. So actually it is not a You know, it is not a spirituality. It is extended sense gratification. From personal to communal to social, these activities may all be very good from material point of view, but they have no spiritual value. The basis of such activities is sense gratification, either personal or extended. Only when person gratifies the senses of the Supreme Lord can he called Mahatma or broad-minded person. Now, we should give sense gratification to Krishna, not to take sense gratification to oneself. The above quoted verse from Bhagavad Gita, the words Daivim Prakritim refers to control of internal potency or pleasure potency of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The pleasure potency is manifested as Srimati Radharani or her expansion Lakshmi Devi, the goddess of fortune. When the individual jiva souls are under the control of internal energy, their only engagement is the satisfaction of Krishna or Vishnu. This is the position of Mahatma. Those who are pleasing Vishnu or Krishna, they are called Mahatmas. If anybody is pleasing any other than Vishnu, they are not called as Mahatmas. Even like Gandhi ji mentioned, even Harijan. जो भी SC ST है सब हरिजन हो जाएंगे. रबर स्टैम्प नहीं है वो. जो भगवान का भक्ति करते हैं वो हरिजन है ना. They are otherwise they are not. If one is not Mahatma, he is Duratma or cripple-minded person. Such mentally crippled Duratmas are put under the control of Lord's external potency, Mahamaya. They are under Mahamaya. They are under Maya. They are not under Bhakti. Bhakti means Radharani, Tulsi Devi. Indeed, all living entities within this material world are under control of Mahamaya. Whole world is under Mahamaya. Probably 99%. Whose business is to subject them to the influence of threefold miseries. What? Adhyatmik, Adibhautik, Adidaivik. Either one, two, or three. All three may act, or at least one will act on every person. We cannot escape zero. I don't suffer any one of this. Adhyatmik, Adibhautik, Adidaivik. We are not going to read this detail because we heard in device or anything. Daiva Bhutatma Hetava, the conditioned souls subjected to these three miseries by the control of external energies suffer various difficulties. Adhyatmik means his own body and mind give troubles. Adi Bhautik means even if my body and mind is cool, but neighbors or others' body is not cool, they will give trouble. Adi Daivik means everything is fine, but Prakriti is not fine. Earthquake, drought, tsunami, so many things. The main problem confronting the conditioned souls is the repetition of birth, old age, disease, and death. There is only one problem: Punarjanma. Punarjanma. Again, taking birth means bhakti mein fail. Bhakti mein fail matlab Punarjanma. One should not make anyone take birth again. One should send them to Vaikunta. In the material world, one has to work for the maintenance of the body and soul. But how can one person such work in a way that is favorable for execution of Krishna consciousness? अभी तो कोई गृहस्थ बोल सकता है तो हम तो बाहर काम करना पड़ेगा. Excellent if they work in Krishna consciousness, agriculture, something. They get a lot of free time. Or if they are working in any companies or anything, under guidance of Guru, they have to work. Guru's guidance, then they are under Krishna consciousness. What is the sign of Krishna consciousness? Yasya prasadat bhagavat prasado, yasya aprasadat nagati kutobi. If Guru is pleased, he is Krishna consciousness. If Guru is not pleased, he is not under Krishna consciousness. Even in city or village, wherever. Everyone requires possessions such as food, grains, clothing, money, and other things necessary for maintenance of the body. But one should not collect more necessary for his actual basic needs. Isavasyam, Isavasyam, is principle in Ishopanishad. One should not collect more than necessary. We should be satisfied with whatever Krishna has given in our quota. We should not collect more than our quota, which is given by Krishna. Everybody's quota is different. Somebody may get more quota, material quota. So Krishna is given them. So if Krishna is giving less, no problem. If this natural principle is followed, then there will be no difficulty in maintaining the body. So Prabhupada tells one example, if bag of rice is placed in public place, birds will come and eat and a few grains and go away. But human being, however, will take away the whole bag. So greedy. कल परसों नरसों तरसों का भी सबका लेके जाएंगे. अगला 10 साल तक कोई राइस कम नहीं होना चाहिए. होल बैग ही विल टेक. He will eat. He will eat all his stomach can hold and then try to keep the rest in the storage. According to scriptures, this collecting of more than necessary atyahara is prohibited. Now entire world is suffering because of it. सब store करना चाहता है. That's why suffering is there. Okay, we land here. Any questions? Online devotees?
Hare Krishna, Broji.
Yes, bro.
Broji, the last statement, what you had said. Actually, this one previously also I heard, but I had that doubt because when we say about storing the rice bag and everything, even we as devotees we also do that, but we do it because we want to maintain ourselves so that we can practice bhakti properly.
Yeah, good question.
So
Hmm.
yeah, and
Why we
because why I'm
store?
saying this thing,
Why we do FD for
yeah,
temple maintenance?
and second, one more doubt I had was. Regarding the simple living, high thinking, Prabhupada said that statement is surely very correct. But in that also nowadays, even in job life also, we have to really endeavor a lot, even for basic maintenance also, because
Hmm.
things are going in even much more worse direction now. Even devotees are not getting jobs, and so many things are going. Despite we try
Regarding
to
jobs,
keep
na?
ourselves very
Regarding
simple.
jobs, we have to take
Yeah.
jobs according to nature. See, if
Okay. Yeah.
somebody got reservation or something, but he will get reservation for getting job, but not for writing programs. If he doesn't learn Java or something, and if he get a job, after going into the job, he has to write program. Na? They will not give reservation for 75% for writing program. 1 hour work, they have to do 4 hours. For them, natural job has to be done. नेचुरल जॉब क्या है? 4 घंटा का 1 घंटा में हो जाएगा. भक्ति विनोद ठाकुर एग्जाम्पल. He was perfectly qualified for district magistrate and he used to do work in 4 hours only. Regarding job, that is the criteria. And why temple stores? We are varnashrama. We are not pure devotees. We are following varnashrama. We are not pure devotees. Under the guidance of spiritual master, one has to work. So temple, grasta, brahmachari, vanaprastha, sannyas, all these are under varnashrama system. There is a system. We need to follow that. First of all, we need to follow rules and regulations. Then we can transcend sattoguna. So we are not like pure devotees. So we should have a spiritual master. Scripture tell idealistic things, but spiritual master will know what depth we are and how he is a very mature person who guides the person according to their level. More than scriptures is guru. Guru knows how to fit the person to the scriptures. Shastra speaking, anybody can speak. It is just a repetition. But Guru's role is very important. Not everybody can become Guru. Not everybody can engage people in Krishna consciousness, make them satisfied. If you stress more on agriculture, then city people cannot live. They live Krishna consciousness, but they cannot live city life. So you have to balance. Guru knows when to do what, how to do. He is very expert. Not everybody can become spiritual master. Speaking, anybody can speak, no? Like parrot. No? Main thing is to make people to Krishna consciousness and slowly elevate some good examples in the society. Ideal, some people should be exemplary for others. Not everybody is exemplary. Not everybody is first rank in the class. You know? So we are varnashrama. We are not pure devotees. No? Under guidance. If Guru says don't store, we should not store. If Guru says you go to that temple, we should go. If Guru says to construct temple, yes. After that, Guru says to go to another place, we should go. Okay. Okay.
Yes, Prabhuji. Thank you so much for clarification.
Thank you. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Tomorrow we also will have same time.
Okay, Prabhuji, sure.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you very much, Prabhuji.
Thank you very much. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai.